All right, we're back. We're finally doing another book review. I finished Mr. Moonlight, okay? I loved this book all up until the very end, all right? That's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil the ending. I'm going to tell you about the plot. I'm going to tell you about the things that I liked and didn't like. The thing I didn't like was the ending, but I won't spoil it, okay? So, uh, to start, the book's pacing is perfect. Okay, it starts with a kind of eerie, uh, uh, eerie themed things. It's a bit of a ghost story in ways, and I really liked that. I loved all the ghost story elements. The storytelling itself was really nice. I liked all the characters. I even liked the side characters. I liked the fluff characters. I thought it was all good, and the story ended up being a lot more than I thought it was. Also, there's a twist towards the end. There's multiple twists that I really did not see coming, and I loved that. I don't think it's been a little while since I've read a book where I was like, oh my god, this is what's happening? No way. So I loved that. That made me really happy. The twists were perfect, and you would never see them coming. I didn't, at least. Maybe you would, to whoever reads the book, you know. But the plot is basically about Julian Harris. Okay, uh, he's this guy who's troubled because he's stuck with these horrible nightmares he's had since a little kid, where where he's doing these horrible things, and I'm not going to say what they are, but he has these dreams where he's a very bad person, you know, and he does things very unlike himself. And he's had these dreams, I think, for his whole life, ever since this traumatic event that happened at his grandma's house that is explained very early on in the book. It might have even been the first chapter. I think it is the first chapter. I really liked that. Basically, Julian Harris's grandma used to conduct seances and do all that voodoo stuff, you know. And so something happened when he was young regarding that ended up affecting his whole life. And he goes back home to sort of get clarity and figure things out. And through therapy, they thought it would be a good idea to go back home and face the things he's always feared, you know. So he does that, and he comes to find that people are going missing and bad things are happening. So I like that a lot. I love the plot. I loved the whole coming back home theme too. They nailed it. Okay, like I had said before, everything, or I don't know if I said it before, everything up until the very end of this book was perfect to me. I was loving the way it was going. I really loved the coming back home themes, like the feeling estranged and meeting up with old friends and all of that. I thought that was really good. I like the scenes where the main character goes to the bar with his friend. I think the name was Danny. I can't remember. It might not have been Danny. Um, but I loved it all up until the end. The final act of the book was wrapping itself up perfectly. I was on the very last chapter, and they just screwed it up. They could have maybe even ended it when a certain character goes to sleep. They could have ended it there, but they didn't. They added this dream element where I thought I held on to the hope that this horrible thing happening in the end was just a nightmare sequence or something, but it wasn't. I thought I gave it away for you, but I didn't. Okay, I haven't spoiled anything. Go and check out the book, because I think it is really good still, and I obviously liked it, but the end was a real bitter thing for me. So all in all, I think it's really great. All until the ending, like I've said a million times. So you should definitely go and check out Mr. Moonlight. It's very well written, and the pacing was perfect. So the book has those things going for it. It also isn't your conventional horror or ghost story. Okay, there's a lot more. There's a lot more to the story, and it's one of those things where it's kind of about how terrible people are rather than like this supernatural thing. There's definitely tons of supernatural elements, but there's also the inhuman aspect to it as well. But yeah, all in all, I did enjoy the book. I just wish that the author could take back those last 2 or 3 pages, because if it weren't for that, I'd be giving this book a solid 8 out of 10 stars. The only other complaint I have is towards the end, the main character changes in ways that are partly understandable, but there's also some of it that seems like a little bit much, and it doesn't really make sense to me. Um, I guess that's the end of it. I feel like the last page gave no resolution or closure about what the final scene was about, and I really hated that. But everything else was awesome. So definitely go and check out Mr. Moonlight. Let me know if you like it more or if you have the same problem as me. But now, tonight, I'm going to move on to my next book, and I'll have a review up soon because it's going to be a novella, okay? So stay tuned for that. And that's all.